This is a petition to establish the parent-child relationship. Mr. Joseph Craig Disarmay is not present.
Could you tell us the name of your child?
Maverick.
Full name, please.
Maverick James Shirts.
Okay. And how old is he?
2.5.
And who is his father?
Joseph Desmo.
Do you have any interest in having DNA testing done today?
No, ma'am.
Confirm that. Do you have any doubts that Mr. Desmo is his father?
No, ma'am.
Based on the time of conception, could any other man be the father of Maverick?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So just to be clear, you are completely certain moving forward today that Mr. Desmo is Maverick's father?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you stated Maverick is about 2.5 years old. Has Mr. Desmo been involved in his life?
No, ma'am.
Let me back up and ask, do you reside in Chambers County?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You're saying he hasn't been involved in his life. Has he ever met him?
He's been so his mother, which is my son's grandmother, takes him sometimes, and I know that there was at least 2 times that he was there present when my son was there, but the involvement, I don't know, because his family is kind of secretive about it.
Okay. So as far as any sort of considerable visitation between you and Mr. Desmo, passing the child, exchanging the child, him visiting it alone with the child, you have no knowledge of this ever occurring. Is that correct?
No, never.
Okay. Would you be comfortable with Mr. Desmo visiting with a child?
I'm comfortable with I'm comfortable with him, but I'm not comfortable with the woman that he's with.
Does he have other children to your knowledge?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know how many?
Yes, he has a son with the woman he's with, and he has 3 older kids.
Do he and the woman he's with and that child live together?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're uncomfortable with is it his girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay, why is that?
She's caused a lot of issues, like telling him that I've messaged her these ugly things, that I've never messaged her. She said things to other people in our town, and then he also has his 3 older kids. The stories of how they had been around and she kicked him out, or she has just been like vindictive while his kids are around.
Do you have safety concerns regarding him specifically being around your child?
No, ma'am.
If the court orders visitation today, do you have concerns about the child being around him overnight or being around him? What would be your thoughts on that?
I mean, I really think that until my son can talk, I don't want him. I'm comfortable if he was to go to his grandmother and Joseph is around, then I'm fine. But I think that taking my child to that woman's house when my child can't tell me what's going on, I feel uncomfortable.
Do you have a relationship with the grandmother? Can you speak with her?
Yeah, we're okay. She helps me with him sometimes.
Okay. Do you and Joseph speak? I'm sorry, Mr. Desmo, do you speak and interact?
No, ma'am. In the whole 2 years, no.
Okay, so you don't speak about any of the child's issues, medical issues, daycare issues, things like that?
No, ma'am.
No. Do you have any safety concerns regarding your address being listed in order of the court, him knowing where you live?
No, ma'am.
Does Maverick have any form of health insurance?
Yes, ma'am. He's on Medicaid.
Does Mr. Desmo also live in Chambers County?
Yes, ma'am.
I see Maverick's last name is your last name. Are you wanting that to continue to be the case? Or to change it to include Mr. Desmo's name?
If he asks for it, if he doesn't ask for it, I'm not worried about it.
Okay, well, he's not present here today, so this is about what you're asking for.
Didn't know. We're not asking.
That's all I have, Judge.
Ma'am, how often does your son visit his grandmother?
It's sporadically, like maybe I say like once a month.
Did you say you're ready?
Yes. Yeah,
okay. Based on the testimony, I base this off minimum wage, giving him credit for 4 other children. Suggest $25 a month for the medical reimbursement. That would make child support $154 a month. If you're interested in ordering the retroactive support back to the date of birth of the child, that would be 34 months at that rate, gives us $5,200 $236 minus 500 gives us retro of $4,736. We would want at least $100 a month payback on that.
I'm going to render. I find that I'm going to establish the parent-child relationship between Mr. Disarmay and Maverick James Shirts, and I'm going to leave his last name as it is now, Shirts. I'm going to appoint you the managing conservator, the Shirts, and him the possessory conservator with no residency restriction. For visitation, I'm going to start out with it supervised at the grandmother's house, and I'm going to do that until Maverick is 4 on the first and third Saturdays of the month from 1 to 5 at the grandmother's house. After Maverick turns 4, I'm going to do a few more periods of supervised, so get them back into the stair step. So you know where I'm going with this as possible. So at that point, it'll be 1 to 5 supervised at the grandmother's house on the first, third, and fifth Saturdays for 5 periods. Just because I don't want to jump into unsupervised if he hasn't been visiting, because we don't know. So I wanted to have some normalcy there in terms of that requirement. So if he does those 5 visits supervised, it will then move to 1 to 5 unsupervised on those first, third, and fifth Saturdays for another 5 periods. And then if he does those, he would move to 8 to 5 unsupervised on the first, third, and fifth Saturdays. And again, he has to get through 5 of those visits before he would get to the next phase. Then 6 p.m. Saturday to 6 p.m. Sunday, starting on those first, third, and fifth Saturdays. So those overnights would be 5 periods. And then if he does all of that, he would get to the standard possession order. But to do that, he has to actually start visiting.
If he doesn't exercise his visitation, ma'am, he doesn't move up to the next level of access. That's what she's saying.
Yeah. And none of that would be until he turns 4, when he should be speaking by then. I'm going to set child support based on minimum wage, finding that nobody has private insurance available. And I'm ordering that Mr. Disarmay pay to you cash medical support, $25 a month, beginning December 1st, 2024. And I'm also ordering that Mr. Disarmay pay to you current child support of $154 each month, beginning December 1st, 2024. And I'm going to order the back child support, the 35 months, less the $500 he's already
I think it was 34 months, Judge.
Sorry, 24 months, yes. Less the $500 he's paid to you. So I'm ordering a back child support judgment against Mr. Disarmay in the amount of $4,736 as of today, November 7th, 2024. And I'm ordering that Mr. Disarmay pay that judgment back at a rate of $100 each month, beginning December 1st, 2024. Please know, though, that that judgment is technically all due and owing, and either the AG's office or you, Ms. Shirts, can take other remedies to collect it sooner if you know of them. And I think that covers everything.
Court costs, Judge.
I'm going to order that he pay court costs, Mr. Disarmay, by November 7th, 2025.
As we discussed, Ms. Shirts, if you become aware in the future of a specific job that he has that he's holding, you can be in contact with us about that. Case could be reviewed for modification in the future. Okay.
Okay. And so, Ms. Shirts, they're going to draft the order based on my ruling today and then send it to me to sign off on, and then you'll get a copy of it for your records.
Yes, ma'am.
And if you do learn where he's working, definitely let them know, because then they can do wage withholding and things that will more guarantee the payments.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And thank you so much.